Okay, here we are for page 3 of chapter 15 through 17, and Russia and the former republics, other independent states as we could call them. So Russia has more natural resources than any other country, and almost every known natural resource can be found there. So by sheer numbers, they have more and they have more variety. And the reason for that, of course, is its sheer size. It's just such a big country that they're just bound to have more variety of all these resources. Coal, here's some oil, diamonds can be found there, gold. I believe that one is a diamond mine, just to name a few. Huge deposits of coal, oil, natural gas, even gold and diamonds can be found in the barren reaches of Siberia. So the problem with this is, because of its sheer size, even though they have a lot, it is difficult to go out and find these. Just the difficult terrain, the climate, it's cold, frozen ground, the sheer distance of getting to these areas. So that makes it pretty difficult. If something's very valuable and there's a lot of it, then they might be able to use some of that money to get out to them and access them. But if it's just a small amount, maybe it's not worth getting. But it is a challenge for them. Again, just some of the resources: oil rigs here, gold, diamonds again. Come on. Okay. So railroads are the greatest movers of goods in Russia, and the reason for that is because it's inexpensive, and rail lines carry half of all railroad freight in the world. So it's just a great mover of goods. You can move so many things with a train, and a lot of it. You can have a few personnel, a few crew people on the train, whatever fuel it takes. But for the amount of goods you're moving, I think it's a great bargain. It is inexpensive to move things by train. Besides trains, of course, semi-trucks, ships would deliver some of the other goods. Some are transported by airplane. I've got a picture here. This train has a snow thrower on the front. That's widely used throughout some of the areas because they do get a lot of snowfall, and these trains can also help clear and keep open the tracks for as long as possible. The world's longest train is found in Russia. It's the Trans-Siberian Railroad. It goes from St. Petersburg to Vladivostok. So St. Petersburg's right in here. This one's Moscow here, but right up in that area, and travels across over here to Vladivostok. I believe in our textbook it said something about 7 or 8 time zones that it crosses. There are some different lines. There's one that goes down into Mongolia and China. So distance, location, and the fragile natural environment are some of the challenges and obstacles to development of these resources. So some ships, they can be icebreakers. Reinforced hull helps get through some of these bodies of water up until they get too thick, and then it's pretty difficult. We watched a video in my class on Lake Baikal. I thought it was really quite interesting about the ice. Anywhere from 3 to 6 meters is the extent of the ice. Just amazing how smooth some parts of it are. Showed people driving on it, skating, a car pulling tubes, kind of a little hydrofoil traveling on it. Looked pretty fun. These trucks here, a video that I used to show, or film actually, quite an old one, but talked about some of these trucks, 5-ton military trucks, 6x6, meaning that all 6 wheels are powered. Great big tires, and because of the cold temperatures and the travel that they have to make, you don't want to go alone. You want to always be in a convoy with other trucks. So if you break down, you're not going to freeze to death, because if you were all on your own and your truck broke down and you couldn't have heat within that truck, you probably would freeze. Even the trucks have 2 panes of glass because it is so cold. The tires can split, metal can break and become weak because of those cold temperatures. As far as the villages, there's one area that's very cold, far north. The houses 3 meters thick on the walls. The house windows have 3 panes of glass. When you breathe in the cold air, that you can see your breath, and they call it habitation fog. This picture is a little bit hazy, but you can see some of it is from the breath of humans and animals, and it just kind of hangs suspended in the air. They mention how somebody goes to get milk and they carry it home frozen in a slab, get it home, break it up, and be able to thaw it out. It's not really somewhere I'd like to go. I don't like the cold. Okay, so some of the challenges of climate. Roads obviously are of limited use, depending on the time of year, the climate, whatnot. Let's see, river traffic for ships and barges is also discouraged, and air travel is expensive and is not suitable for everything. Obviously, you wouldn't want to carry logs out on an airplane, but if it was something more valuable and maybe a smaller item, certainly could be used that way. Then of course, oil and natural gas can be brought out by pipelines. Once they're set up, that's a really inexpensive way to get that product out. I threw this picture in. That's an Antonov A225, I think. That's the largest plane in the world. And I believe they only built one, but it's kind of interesting to show kids those types of things. Okay, ideology. This is ideas or principles on which a political system is based. So if your country has communism, you're the communist ideology, or socialist, or democratic ideology. The command system. So this is an economy where the government dictates what products should be manufactured. If they focus on military equipment or maybe mining equipment, something like that, versus focusing on things that the citizens need. So that's command system. That was also established by Joseph Stalin, pictured right there. Oh, sorry, there you go. Okay, heavy industry we've talked about before. That is production of goods such as steel and machines that are used in other industries like the military, farming, mining, just huge pieces of equipment that can help in those other industries. The term perestroika, that one is an economic restructuring or a turning about, making a change. So this book by Gorbachev, New Thinking for Our Country and the World. Okay, the demand system. This is where the production of goods is determined by people's demands for goods in the marketplace. So you're making things that people need. I know back in the day, it used to be that people would go to lines at the grocery store, in the marketplace, wherever in Russia, and if they saw a line, they just got in it because they knew there was something. You know, you might be waiting for bread or a pair of shoes or whatever, but not the case in our country, at least unless we have a pandemic. And that should take care of page 3. Thank you.